you're like me, you've probably read The Psychology of Money, but a month later, most of it is just gone. And you're not actually doing anything differently. And without a way to apply those lessons, they're just nice ideas, not habits that teach you how to save, invest, or spend better. This video breaks down 12 most useful ideas from the book into 4 simple, actionable categories. So you don't just remember them, you use them and finally feel in control of your money decisions. Lesson 1, everyone has their own money story. The biggest mistake you can make is assuming that people see money the way you do. How we spend, save, or invest isn't about logic. It's about life experience. If you grew up seeing your parents stress about bills, you might become ultra frugal. If you grew up during like a stock market boom, you might see investing as obvious, yeah? And if you grew up during like a stock market crash, the complete opposite. For the longest time, I used to think that we were just bad with money. But the truth is, we all inherit stories about money from our families, our cultures, our experiences. We're not broken, we're just shaped, molded. And Morgan puts it perfectly in the book, where he says that your personal experiences make up maybe 0.0000001% of what's happening in the world, but maybe 80% of how you think the world works. Those are many zeros, yeah? Lesson 2, luck plays a bigger role than we admit. We love to believe that success is about hard work, but outcomes are always a mix of skill and circumstance. Bill Gates went to one of the only schools with a computer in the 1970s. Right person, right place, right time. It made me rethink how often I've compared myself to others. In the book, Morgan says to focus less on individuals and more on patterns. Success isn't always copy-paste, and failure doesn't always mean you did something wrong. I found this humbling, and honestly, pretty liberating, pretty freeing, because instead of spiraling over someone else's timeline, it reminds you that your path is very uniquely yours. Your pace, your direction, your time. Lesson 3, learn to say enough. Modern life is this moving goalpost. We chase more income, more recognition, more growth. And when we get there, the finish line just moves ahead. Yeah? If we don't decide what enough looks like, we'll never feel like we've arrived. At one point, most of us thought, if I could make just $1,000 a month doing what I love, then it's $2,000 a month, then $5,000 a month, then 6 figures. And suddenly, you're not just chasing peace, just keeping up with whoever's already ahead. This is called the hedonic treadmill. The idea that we quickly adapt to new gains and our expectations just keep rising with them. We think more will make us feel better, but often it just resets the baseline. And Morgan says there's no reason to risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need. The real move is to define enough before you get there, Because if you don't, then the chase just never ends. So that's the first piece, how we see money. Your upbringing, your timing, your definition of enough, they shape everything. In this next part, we'll now shift gears from mindset to motion, the actual habits that quietly build wealth. Lesson 4, compound interest is the most underrated superpower. Most people underestimate just how powerful small, tiny, consistent actions become over time. We all want the big leap, but it's the quiet, steady ladder that actually builds wealth, like Warren Buffett, At the time Morgan wrote this book, Buffett was worth around $84.5 billion, And $81.5 billion of that came after his 65th birthday. Not because of some secret formula. He just started early, and kept going. He played the long game when most people were chasing quick, shortcuts. Morgan even jokes about it in the book, yeah? Where he says, none of the 2,000 books picking apart Buffett's success are titled, "This guy's been investing consistently for 3/4 of a century." But honestly, that's the whole game. So yeah, it might feel really, really slow, but slow isn't the same as stuck. Every single quiet decision adds up. One day, what felt small becomes what everyone else calls lucky. Lesson 5, save even when you don't have a reason yet. Most of us wait until we have this very specific goal. A car, a trip, a rainy day. But Morgan flips that. He says, you don't need a reason to save, you just need the ability to. Now, the line that stuck with me was that savings equals income minus ego. Because the truth is, most of our spending isn't about need, it's about ego, yeah? Proving something, feeling like we are keeping up. But if we can keep our lifestyle simple, not boring, just light, we unlock way more freedom, yeah? And it's not just for our emergencies. Saving gives you breathing room. It buys you space to pause, to pivot, to walk away from whatever is draining you. Even a small habit of saving, know why needed, might be one of the strongest things that we build. Lesson 6, focus on not screwing up, not on winning big. We love to chase the next big thing. The crypto, meme stocks, hot takes on Twitter. But Morgan argues something more grounded. He says, don't aim to be the best investor. Aim to be the one who makes the fewest big mistakes. Because most people lose the game not by playing small, but by playing too big, too fast. A good investor is not the one who makes the most. It's the one who avoids the most mistakes. The real job is to stay in the game. Don't blow it all on the next hype train. Let time do what it does best, compound. So that's part 2, yeah? We've gone from compounding to saving to staying in the game, right? Nothing flashy, nothing overnight, just the small, patient moves that actually stick. Now, let's talk about how we spend. Not just wisely, but very, very, very intentionally. Lesson 7, use money to buy freedom, not flexes. There's a line I think I highlighted like 3 times in the book, yeah? That money's greatest intrinsic value, and this cannot be overstated, is its ability to give you control over your time. Let that one just rest a bit, yeah? Because we're sold this idea that money is about the stuff, the car, the house, the lifestyle, yeah? But what if it's actually about the space to wake up slower, to work on what matters to you, to say no to what drains you, to pick your daughter up from school without asking for permission. I think that's real wealth. And the best part is that you don't need millions to start feeling it or to start living it, yeah? You just need enough to buy back your time, even if it's just 1 hour a day reclaimed. So maybe the better question isn't what can I buy? Maybe it's what would I do if I had more time? And how can money quietly help me get there? Lesson 8, getting rich is a different skill than staying rich. So I think wealth is about building it up, yeah? But that's only just half the game. The other half is not losing it. Getting money takes confidence, risk, ambition, yeah? Keeping it takes humility, the quiet fear that it could all disappear if you're not careful. I remember during my design freelance days when we used to do graphic design, I'd land a few big projects in a row and suddenly feel invincible. Like, yeah, I'm in my bag now, you know. I'd upgrade my tech, order nicer takeout, go a little loose with my expenses, yeah. Then 2 quiet months roll in and no clients. And I'd feel that tightness again. Like, did I just let it all slip because I thought the wins would keep coming? And Morgan reminds us that getting rich is about offense, yeah? Staying rich is about defense. The most underrated financial skill is living below your means, even when you don't have to. That's how you stay in the game long enough to win it. Lesson 9, don't be flashy, be free. Morgan writes a letter to his son where he says, you might think you want an expensive car or a fancy watch or a huge house, but what you really want is respect and admiration. And you think those things will buy it, but they almost never do. This is what he calls the man in the car paradox, yeah? We don't admire the person driving the Ferrari, we imagine ourselves driving it. That one took me a while to understand. And yeah, I felt that pressure too, to look like I've made it. But the deeper I go, the more I realize that real wealth is probably invisible, yeah? It's not what you show, it's what you keep, right? What you don't have to prove. So would you rather stay flashy and panic when the bills come, or stay free and never flinch when they do? That wraps up part 3. If those hit close to home, fantastic. We're not here to look rich, we're here to feel free. And the final part is all about protecting what we've built. How to build resilience, not just returns. That's where lesson 10 comes in. Always leave room for error. We like to think we're making neat, spreadsheet perfect plans, but life is so much messier. Morgan says the smartest portfolios and the smartest life plans bake in this like margin of safety. Not just the technical margin, like could my investment survive a bad year, but the emotional one, like could I survive watching them fail? I felt this when I first went all in on content. Like I'd saved a couple of months of runway and thought I'm good, like that's plenty. But after 3 quiet months, that balance just started shrinking. It started feeling like sand draining through an hourglass, And logically, I still had some cushion, but emotionally, panic whispered, better crawl back to a real job. And Morgan puts it plainly. He says that you have to survive both the math and the mood. Just keep on pad your plan, yeah? With extra savings and extra grace for how it might feel when things wobble, yeah? Lesson 11, avoid extreme promises to your future self. Do you ever hear someone say that I'll never buy a house, or kids aren't for me, so why save? That's the end of history illusion. Assuming today's views will still fit 10 years from now. The problem is we are all terrible forecasters of our future selves, yeah? Values shift, health changes, and relationships happen. So locking your finances to a single irreversible path can corner future you. The better move here is to just keep it flexible, Save as if you might want that house. Invest as if kids or a sabbatical from your job could show up. The worst case is you've created options, and the best case is you've avoided regret. Lesson 12, be reasonable, not perfectly rational. Spreadsheets usually say, never pay off a cheap mortgage early. Finance the car and invest the difference. But you see, we're not spreadsheets. We're people, we're human, right? And Morgan reminds us, sometimes a decision that looks suboptimal on paper is perfect for peace of mind. Maybe paying off a loan helps you breathe, yeah? Maybe keeping more cash helps you sleep. Maybe a bigger emergency fund helps you stay focused. If a decision calms your mind and keeps you in the game, then it's probably the right move, even if it's not the mathematically best one. And that's all 12, yeah? If there's one thing I hope sticks, it's this. Money is a tool for building a life you actually want to live, yeah? Not a scoreboard to impress people that you don't even know. So take whichever lesson landed most for you and put it to work this week in a tiny, almost boring way. Because tiny and boring is where freedom usually starts.